Mr. Keohane, I know you've already addressed the recruiting crisis a lot this morning. I just want to register my concerns about it as well. We missed our goals last year by almost 15,000 in the Army, and the other services also struggled in various ways of shifting around manpower, so they look like they hit theirs. I don't think there's any signs that this year's going to be better. I worry that the recruiting crisis is soon going to become a retention crisis in the years ahead, as you don't have a pipeline of young soldiers to replace junior NCOs, and they more and more is demanded of them. Can you give me your thoughts on what the key causes for this crisis is?
Thank you, Senator. I think there's probably a number of them. Certainly the last handful of years, our military has not been able to get out and be present with a lot of communities, with our youth, with our teachers, with our coaches, a lot of those typical areas that we would normally build that relationship. I also think that there have been a number of challenges, even with BRAC and others, where we have deserts of places within the country that we don't have a military presence, which exacerbates the whole problem in general. I do think when it comes to the marketing and so forth that has been done traditionally, we need to do a better job. The department needs to do a better job and utilize technology and think a different way of reaching out to the youth of today, deal with things certainly much differently than I did when I was their age.
What role do you think advertising and marketing plays in this? The Army has just debuted a new set of ads harkening back to its 1980s Be-All-You-Can-Be ads. What role can different marketing strategies play in trying to recruit more young men and women into the military?
Sure, and I think in this instance, Senator, one of the best things to do is also look at the private sector and how they are marketing to their potential new employees and so forth. I think there's a technology aspect that we probably don't use, the department doesn't use well enough, and that is either, let's say somebody has been clicking on a number of photos of a submarine. Does the department capture, our marketing process capture those individuals' statistics and be able to push the right marketing materials to them, get them interested, see if they are interested? I understand fully that that might require some additional approvals from Congress to make sure that we are staying within the confines of appropriate handling of information, but technology is out there that we need to look at.
Okay. We hear a lot, especially from senior uniformed leaders, about the low percentage of young Americans who are actually eligible to serve in our military. Do you know what percentage that is? What percentage of young Americans are eligible to serve?
Senator, off the top of my head, I think it's fairly low, probably in the 20s.
Yeah, I think that's right, or maybe even the teens. I have to say, I think that's too low. I mean, do you think that's too low?
You know, I think, you know, on the macro level, it could be right. I haven't really looked into it, but I know it is. Sadly, it's low. It's too low.
I mean, all of our recruits over time should be honored and celebrated. Maybe my favorite recruits of all time are the teenage boys in World War I and World War II who lied about their age so they could enlist and get a shot at the title overseas, and that we should be encouraging as much as we can every young American to join and to be eligible. And I think most of us have probably had experiences of deep frustration with the military services throwing up roadblocks. You know, a young man who was a top-tier college athlete and had a knee or a hip injury and recovered and continued to be a top-tier college athlete, yet the Army says he's not eligible. Or a kid whose parents got divorced when he was 14 and some doctor prescribed some mood-altering drug for 6 months, and 5 years later he's told it's still disqualifying. I understand, like, we can't have people who are, you know, half-blind or fat or flat-footed or what have you in the military. I guess in the second category they can get in shape and join. But I think we should look at ways to try to make more young men and women eligible, especially those who are trying to serve. So can I just get your commitment that you'll look at this tendency that the service has to always, it's almost like a boast, I think, that like only 14% or only 21% are eligible. Again, like it can't be serious felons or people half blind. But we need to do a better job of opening up a bigger pool of recruits, especially when it comes to problems that are temporary or manageable, like old injuries or old psychological diagnoses when kids were, you know, mere adolescents. Even kids that have had some run-ins with the law, you know, nonviolent or juvenile run-ins with the law. I think we need to make the pool bigger so we got a bigger pond to fish in. Can I get your commitment on that?
Absolutely, Senator. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you both, gentlemen.
Thank you, Senator Cotton. In fact, let me associate myself with your remarks. I think they're right on target. Thank you.